I hope you guys are ready to fuck this up. It's Friday.
All right, that's good.
Yes.
We are ready to fuck this up.
I got my 5-hour energy and my coffee.
Wow.
This is my speed chamber. Here we go.
Oh man, I'm gonna be like I'm on fucking meth doing it.
I'm pretty sure that is the recipe for meth.
Yeah, just add this to your coffee.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's it, right?
Like you can sell this on the street. Welcome everybody to the Bitcoin Ben Show. Hang on, I gotta chop up a line real quick. Holy shit. What's going on, fellas? How you guys doing?
Wonderful, man. It's
Awesome.
Friday.
Hey man, I appreciate you guys coming on the show and fucking wow.
Heck yeah. Can't wait.
No,
But
Right.
sorry we missed you on the back end a while back. We were going back and forth for a while and then we couldn't make it work.
No, don't sweat it, brother. No big deal, man. This is crypto. We don't have schedule.
Exactly.
You're telling me. Just spent the last hour trying to convince a bunch of people to do a schedule.
Like,
And-
it's like
and
herding
what's
cats.
sad, and don't worry, I'm actually going to put a warning on this video. Sad is if one guy gets an offer for a blowjob, the whole show's shit.
We're gonna have a good time, Chamber. Here we go.
We are gonna have a good time. I wasn't sure. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is my kind of show here.
Could you guys take a second and introduce yourselves? Now, I'll actually introduce the show real quick. But these guys here are from a podcast called Rekt, and I'm pretty sure you guys are the #1 podcast, right?
We like to say we like to say we are.
Fuck, I'll run with it, brother.
We like to say we are. Yeah, I put out a tweet the other day from the show, and I just thanked everybody for. I forget exactly how it went. Basically, yeah, just claiming the spot of #1 crypto podcast without any sort of backup to it. So, and a lot of people just went with it. I was actually quite surprised. Yeah, all right. So I was like, okay, I went with it too. Like, it was more of a joke on my end, but I would say it was about
#1
50-50.
podcast.
Yeah.
Hosted by Satoshi Nakamoto.
That's right.
I
And Bjorg.
messaged, and Bjorg. I messaged Chamber on the side after, and there was a lot of people like congratulating us and all this stuff. And I go, hey man, you might want to like tell people that you were fucking around.
Man, I don't know. I feel like it was pretty evident that I was, but yeah.
Well,
Hey.
the fact that people actually believe it, maybe we're better than we think.
Right, exactly. That's what I was kind of thinking too. I'm like, well, people believed it. I mean, it's not awful.
You guys are the shit. It's only in your own mind.
Yep, exactly.
right.
Well, that's definitely
Absolutely.
a Chamber problem right there.
100%.
All right, guys. Introduce yourselves, where you're from, what you do, and why in the pluck you do it.
Chamber, you go first.
All right. My name is Chamber. I'm one of the co-hosts of Rekt podcasts. I've been doing it alongside my good friend here, Bunchu, for over a year and a half now, I want to say. Jeez. Been a long time. Fun fact about us, we've actually never met in real life. We are BFFs online only. So that's a whole new acronym.
Shit.
But yeah.
Shit. I actually have girlfriends like that.
I
Yeah,
was just
so-
gonna say, I think there's dating websites like that.
So I got into crypto at the worst possible time at the end of 2017. Bought the top on literally everything, I think. And
You hodl out of necessity.
it wasn't even just hodling; it was bad trades. It was everything. There's pyramid schemes at some point that I got involved in. I didn't know.
BitConnect.
Yeah, exactly. It's that's actually how I got introduced to crypto to begin with, was through BitConnect.
You're
Unfortunately,
fucking kidding me.
I'm not
He's
even
not
joking.
kidding.
I'm not even joking. I had a coworker mention it to me. He thought, hey, you're a smart guy. You should get involved with this. And he started talking about, it was a simultaneous conversation between, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and BitConnect. So at the very, very start, I thought, the two were the same. As I learned more, I did not get involved with BitConnect. I dodged the bullet.
So I like what you've done with your mom's basement.
Yeah, thank you. She's cooking dinner right now. It smells great.
Hot buckets.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's not far from the truth, sir. Not far from the truth.
Chamber, it's not, you didn't really lose all your money. Okay, actually, you did kind of lose all your money.
Yeah, I did. It was actually, he actually sent me that one directly before it went viral. That was actually meant specifically for me.
DM.
Yeah, he DM'd me personally.
Oh, man.
Bunchu, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right. Well, I am Bunchu. Again, so it's funny. So Chamber had this idea for Rekt podcast because of his circumstances, I would say. And he just put out a tweet one day and he said, hey, I would love to there should be a podcast where people talk about all their Rekt stories. And I saw it and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And we had never really talked before at all, and I just slid into those DMs, and that's how the baby was born.
Absolutely.
So, so when two anonymous Twitter avatars love each other very much, they create a podcast.
It's true. It's true. It's a beautiful thing.
And here you guys are a year and a half later, still paying child support.
Absolutely. To this illegitimate child.
Yep. I had gotten in, let's see, when did I get in? Earlier 2017. So kind of like right before everything took off. I think when I first got in Bitcoin, I mean, it was still already taken off from a relative term, but way before 20K. So I think it was when I bought my first, it was 2,100 or so. And I had gotten in because I have a affliction for sports betting. And so I was looking.
Your mom's basement too.
Yeah, my mom's basement as well, with all this really cool Penn State memorabilia. So, meatloaf. So, but that's how I found Bitcoin, because, it was an easy way to deposit. And then next thing you know, everything I had was just going up, up, up. And then I started reading about Bitcoin. And then, at that time, really the only way to do it was Coinbase. So I was on Coinbase. And at that time too, it was just Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. And then so I just started reading about everything on there, and then dove down a Reddit rabbit hole and really never stopped. So here I am almost 3 years later. Holy crap.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
You guys are going to hate me. I actually originally bought Litecoin at $4.
Wow. You know what's funny? I actually remember when I first got into crypto, and it was, like I said, early 2017, and I was trying to find any podcast I could listen to or anything. And I found the guys from the Bitcoin Network, and I forget which show it was. I actually it might have even been Ken Bosak's show. And I think I heard you on it, and you were one of the first interviews that I had heard of from somebody in crypto. And I thought your story was so cool. And I'm like, man, this guy fucks.
Yeah.
So here we are, full circle, talking to Bitcoin Ben.
Yeah. Well, I luckily got in earlier than most people. It's really most of the people I talk to, I'd say at least probably 65 to 75% are actually right with Chamber.
Yeah.
Sure are.
They're living in the mom's
buddy.
basement with fucking hot pockets and a fucking microwave right now.
Hot Pockets. I have to get name brand. I have to get the store brand. I don't get the name brand Hot Pockets. I get the
Warm pockets. Or
yeah, exactly.
That electricity, his mining electricity bill is high, so you can't eat them all the way up.
No.
Well, fuck that. Mom's paying that bill.
Chamber, this goes hand in hand with one of our favorite iTunes reviews of all time.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we got called out for being a couple of virgins living on our mother's house reading crypto news to people. That was that's one of our favorite reviews of all time.
And here we are.
Hey, as I've explained on like my show, you know, even the people that got wrecked in for this like last dip, I've interviewed people like OGs, like Trace, you know, and he had originally purchased when like Bitcoin was a quarter.
Oh my God.
And he remembers whenever it ran up to like $11.
Really?
I was like, sell. And he's like, no, I'm not selling, you know. And then for the longest time, that like people were giving him shit. Like, you dumbass.
Yeah.
You could have sold at 11. And now, like rolling around, like fucking literally like diving in.
Like Scrooge McDucking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
McDucking.
Scrooge McDucking it.
I'm just Donald ducking it over here.
Too.
No pants.
Yeah, I got nothing, but
I can't afford them.
Yeah, like I borrowed my brother's underwear kind of shit. And it's even the OGs, you know, had that, what are you, stupid? You know, had people like just swearing up and down they were the dumbest people that ever dumbed. And yet in like 3 or 4 years, you'll actually have people talking to Chamber going, man, you bought that low?
Yeah.
And it's going to be like, he's still going to feel stupid. Those people are going to think he's like a crypto god.
Right.
You know?
At least my dad's still gonna think I'm still stupid.
Well, that's your dad.
We bought the top together. I'm like, Dad, you gotta buy this. I'm making nothing but money. $20,000 Bitcoin's a steal of a deal right now. Hop on board, sir.
It's a steal at twice the price. Come on, Dad.
A hard sell on old pops.
But now you're paying him rent.
Oh, I'm hearing about it. That's for sure.
Oh man, it's if anything, the cryptocurrency environment and the cryptocurrency community is entertaining.
Oh yeah,
we got
100%.
half of the people are like stupid wealthy, and the other half are like like wrestling crumbs away from pigeons.
That is a fact.
Amazing.
That is a fact.
But yet they all get along.
Well, in theory.
Oh yeah.
In theory.
Until they see each other at conferences, and then it's a whole. It's a gong show after that.
Oh, hey, you haven't gone to a party until you've gone to an after party at like one of these freaking conferences. You get a room full of drunk crypto people, and you have people drunk buying like coin number 2,050 on fucking coin market cap. You know, this shit's gonna moon, man. Moon.
I'll tell you one thing though. Anybody watching this right now, you will 100% want to be at the conference where Bunchu and I finally meet and get very drunk together. That will be the most epic moment of everybody's life if they're there.
Yes, absolutely. Hey Ben, were you in Vegas?
Oh shit, yeah.
How was that?
Hang on a second. If the authorities are asking, no.
I ain't no cop.
Yes, I was at an event prior to the Litecoin Summit with another influencer named my boy Bix Weir, and we had like live music and had like a whole friggin' day of just like Bitcoin Ben, Bix Weir, like Jay Snip for, like we had all the woo-woo kind of out
Yeah.
that no project will claim us. Now they want us to share their affiliate link.
They sure do.
But they will not be seen in public with us.
That's
The
too
land of
bad.
misfit influencers.
I feel like we're slowly falling into that mold as well.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a big crowd down here, brother. Don't sweat it. But yet, and this is no like knock on Litecoin or like World CryptoCon or anything like that. We had, for just our event, we had probably half as many people at our event that was at the Litecoin Summit.
Really?
Wow. Really?
And we had one sponsor there. They reaped the rewards of about 250 to 300.
That's amazing.
Just like going nuts. And that's why, as you guys, oh, excuse me, me. I don't think I need the line of Coke anymore. I'll save that for like right before church on Sunday.
That's right.
Hallelujah. Nothing like a bump of the Lord.
But this April 4th, every year I have a charity event in Texas. All everything we raise goes towards charities, and you two are definitely invited. We'll actually have your own booth and
nice.
Have
Let's
a
do
Rekt
it.
April 4th. That's nice.
podcast.
That's a good time of year.
I could book that well in
Yeah.
advance. All right. I'm putting that on my calendar right now, actually.
Oh yeah. Last year, we actually set the Guinness Book of World Record for the world's largest cryptocurrency meetup.
Wow. Really?
Yeah,
How many?
because right at 800.
Wow. That's awesome.
Which was actually easy because there was no record.
3 would have been the record, is what you're saying.
3 people could have showed up and we'd have set that bitch.
All right. I put it on my schedule.
Nice.
I'm locked in. It's a Saturday, Chamber, so you have no excuse.
That is
now.
nice.
Yeah, and literally like people who like listen to your podcast and stuff like that, tickets are $25 a piece.
That's reasonable.
Goes towards charity.
That's
like
awesome.
making money. Like you guys aren't unfortunately going to get paid. Sorry.
That's okay.
That's all right. We don't get paid right now anyways.
Yeah.
I
Status
need to
quo.
borrow the car.
I'll just have to ask my
how
mom.
long do you think it would take me to hitchhike to Texas? I don't know if I can.
No, see what you got to do. I'm going to ask my mom to save up my allowance from now until April 4th so I can use that money to go.
Well, you could put your allowance in a crypto bank that will give you 6% returns every month.
Ooh, that's not a good. How can I lose?
It's a win-win.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, so I definitely want that, and I'd help you actually market it. Like you guys are going to meet for the first time.
Oh, it would be such a heartwarming moment. We
Slow
would
motion
run
video is needed.
Yeah, we would run towards each other. Exactly. The music playing, absolutely.
It's gonna be
It would
terrific.
be fantastic. Hey Ben, I got a funny story for you though. So
Yeah, brother.
you were going to be on our show back in September, and it was actually like right before, because you were doing a bunch of meetup tours, and you were going to be like right in my neck of the woods in Pennsylvania here, or I think you were in Philly. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
And the day you were supposed to be on the show, I see this. You tweet about this all the time. You get a lot of scammers that impersonate you, right? So the day you were supposed to be on the show, a Bitcoin Ben scammer messaged me.
You're shitting me.
No joke. The day you were supposed to be on the show, and I messed with him because I knew it wasn't the correct Bitcoin Ben, and so I went back and forth with this guy talking, and he didn't realize you were going to be on the show, so he just kind of had to play along, and it was a fantastic exchange where I ended up obviously calling him out afterwards, but I had a good time with him.
Play with them.
I'm like, Ben, so what do you think we should talk about on the show today? And he's like, well, are you interested in crypto mining? And I'm like,
I am.
I'm like, well, yes, I am. You should tell me so much more about that on the show tonight. And he's like, absolutely. I'm like, can you give me any tidbits now? And he's like, well, if you send stuff to this wallet. And I'm like, perfect. I'm like, you can tell everybody the wallet address tonight and we'll go with it, man. We're going to make this thing a star for you. It was I had a good time with
the wallet address right under the show.
Yeah, exactly. I'll put the wallet address in the show notes and you can tell everybody. And then you could promote your meetup and everything. Oh my God, it was so funny. And I just thought it was ironic because it was literally the day you were supposed to be on and some guy had the audacity to get at me that day.
I'm wrestling with fucking Twitter right now. I literally trademarked my name and my logo.
Wow.
And Twitter, I've sent them the documentation like 5 times now. And every time they reply back, thank you for sending your trademark documentation. We will review. And then I get an email like 2 days later, please send your trademark information. And what fuck kind of bot shit you got going on? My God, no wonder nobody likes you, Twitter.
So they're like, we've accepted your trademark information. Now send us 1 ETH and we'll send you 2 back.
Please use our BitConnect link right here.
No kidding. Hey, Ben, the reason you're doing the trademark thing, is it so you can get the verified check mark? That's sick. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's maybe 4 months ago, I got reached out by this lady who literally got ripped off for 30 grand.
Oh my gosh.
Peanuts.
Yeah,
I got ripped off for like 130.
Shut up.
$130?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
100 grand. Yeah, no, 30 grand is nothing to sneeze at. That's for sure.
Yeah, and apparently it was like half of like what she had saved up.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
And she realized that that the person she was dealing with wasn't me. And so she actually messaged me and she told me the whole story. She sent me screenshots and like all this stuff. And I mean, it just broke my heart. I'm like, I am so sorry. And as hurt as she was, like losing the money, she was like, hey, it's not your fault. You know, I should have looked closer. But there's a special place in hell.
Oh yeah.
Son of a bitches. You know, I mean, this gal here, super not old, I'd say maybe 55, maybe 60-year-old gal. And what pisses me off is this piece of crap uses my logo, my name, and then adds an underscore.
Right.
Slightly misspells it, where unless you look directly at it and like mindfully read it.
Right.
Of
course. I think most people wouldn't even look for something like that, right?
Well,
Right,
like the
plus
crazy thing is, yeah.
Who in the hell wants to be Bitcoin Ben? So it's not like I'm fucking, I'm not fucking Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, well, you see
Swinging my
like
dick around.
you see like the ones out there that are like really really hard to catch, where it's like they turn like a lowercase I or a capital I into a lowercase L, and like you can't tell the
Right.
difference.
There
And
is no telling.
it's like why wouldn't I believe it was you? It literally looks like it. And so yeah, you need that check mark, man.
I was also thinking too. You had mentioned special place in hell, and then I had the visual of hell and like a quarantine
lounge
section of just crypto like scammers.
There's Craig, right?
You know what I mean? Just even the people in hell, like we section those folks off over here.
Yeah, right. Hell's that. Yeah, there's a special place there for them.
What just popped in my head? You have hell here, and then you're walking through and go, "Hey, where's the crypto guys?" And they point to a staircase.
Yeah, down there.
Oh,
Yeah, we put them
those
down
guys
there.
are down there.
It's actually right below all the urinals. So like some stadiums, you
Yeah.
have those. What are they
troughs.
like troughs?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like
Yeah.
it's like they're just under the trough for obviously
Like this.
eternity.
Send one ETH, I'll send two back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
Those
my
troughs
God.
used to scar me when I was a kid. We didn't have those a lot in Canada. I live in Canada, by the way. But I would go
I'm
down.
sorry.
No, it's all right. It's cold, but it's it's not awful. We got the legalized weed up here, so we make do.
I'm so sorry about that.
You're very sorry about it. Yeah. But yeah, I remember coming over to the States, watching football games and whatnot, and then being like, 7, 8 years old, having to use the washroom, and I go out and just like, what kind of, where did I go? What is this place? What happened to stalls and like, the borders between the urinals? And it was just like a bunch of, misshapen hogs. Like this is not what I need to see right now. This is I'm like 7, 8 years old. This is messing me up for life.
You're standing there pissing, and like right next to you, like Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it.
Is it supposed to look like that?
You guys are killing me. Get it?
What the hell? You dip your dick in acid? What's going on over here?
But yeah, no. Sorry, my tangents get a little crazy sometimes. I apologize.
Hey, that's why I knew this episode would be like. There's people watching this going, are they going to talk cryptos?
It's more or less our show.
Our show is pretty much that. We kind of describe ourselves as like the Howard Stern of crypto, where we'll talk about crypto for maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then we go more into our guests and have fun and play games and all that kind of stuff. So
Yes. It's all right. Now for the market update. Bitcoin flat. Okay,
that was
now
talking.
we're going to talk about our favorite porn clip for the week.
That's it.
Basically it. Yeah.
That is actually basically our show. Yep. So, anyway,
Yeah.
Bitcoin's
At least our
down today.
Typically our guests are in the crypto world. So at least the guest is crypto. But once they're on, we have them talk about whatever they're working on. And then once that's done, we might dabble in a little bit of news, and then that is it. We have some fun. We like to play a lot of games,
Talk about why that is, Chamber.
because we don't know what we're doing.
But those are the best shows. There's a reason why my show's popular, because it's like turning on a TV and you'll either get a fucking train wreck or you'll get one of the most enlightened cryptocurrency shows you've ever watched.
100%.
That's exactly what we do.
This guy's
Yeah.
a genius. And
Like,
then you
we've
watch
had-
the next episode and you go, is he fucking high?
Yes, he is.
That's basically our show. We try to bring on good guests that know what they're talking about, and then we have fun with them. And that's so we there's so many smart technical shows out there, and so we tried to fill a little niche of let's have some fun. And
That's exactly
kind of
right.
like your buddies at the bar talking crypto, basically.
Well, we always thought we were funny.
Yeah, we do.
And yeah, we are very confidently. But
The number one podcast.
number one podcast. Who knew? But we thought we, in the real world, we're, maybe slightly above average funny. But when you get into crypto, there's a lot of like technical people, a lot of smart people, and a lot of those people aren't very funny. So once we get into that, once we get into that realm, then we seem even funnier when compared to everybody else in crypto. So yeah, we really try to expose our comedy as much as possible. And when I say expose my comedy, I don't mean taking my pants off.
Back to the trough talk. This is Trough Talk with Chamber.
So prior to like doing this show and all that, I had a local radio show. Surprisingly enough, I got actually kicked off the air by the FCC.
Really?
That tracks.
And,
That's about right.
and I did stand-up comedy like all over St. Louis and like up in Chicago and places like that. And I have such a weird brand of comedy. Like I don't have jokes. I don't write jokes or anything like that. I literally wing it off of like whoever I'm in front of.
That's tough.
Oh, yeah. Watching my show and when I started talking about cryptos, I looked at the environment and I'm like, all right, there's a lot of smart fuckers in here. While everyone else is trying to go to the top of the barrel, I'm going right to the bottom.
Hey,
There's a lot of room there.
We're there with you. We're that special place in hell for crypto podcasts, I think.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's let's see, everyone else is trying to be like the top notch. I'll go for the gutter. No,
Absolutely.
gutter is man, it's clear in crypto because everyone else is trying to avoid it. And I'll lay down in that son of a bitch and splash water on it.
Absolutely. Well, I think the gutter is where you can be honest too, right? You don't have to put on airs. You can just be yourself and
Exactly.
people take it or leave it.
That's why because you'd be surprised. I got a lot of sponsors. It's just my affiliate link doesn't have the sponsor's name.
Hey, Ben. Yeah, great show. We love what you do, but
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Could you put a link under your show and then not name the product?
Seems counterproductive, but okay.
Hey, but yet people buy it.
I bet they do.
I'm sold.
It's cryptocurrencies, and now let's get serious.
All right.
Right?
Sorry.
Cryptocurrency world right now is literally our community wakes up in the morning and the first thing we get is a baseball bat to the teeth.
It's accurate.
Several different directions.
That's what we got this morning.
Right. And if we only get 3 of them to the teeth, it's an up day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Everything's in the green. But yet the friends I have at like over the counters and exchanges and the volumes we're seeing and all of the action, all of the adoption, all of the platforms, like this whole environment is so positive with projects that are actually like they have use cases, not like BitConnect, you know.
Right.
And but we're at a place where we all know that this is the future because it's when you have the Federal Reserve announcing the Fed now like network, which is basically going to be like the Lightning Network for the federal and global like banking system.
Right.
And it's going to be blockchain based. So, yeah, if the global banks are doing it, this shit's not going away.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how I see it, and once I get through my little ramble here, there will be a question at the end. is
We take notes.
is how I see it is you'll have your centralized, you know, your YouTube coin or whatever, your Facebook coin, whatever, your Fed coin, and then you'll have the decentralized coins like Litecoin, like Bitcoin, whatever, coin away from a structured entity. And people will actually have like currency freedom. We're able to choose, do I want to hold Litecoin, which is volatile right now, or do I want to hold a Coinbase stable coin that is, like pegged to the dollar, and I'm not going to catch those gains, but I'm also not going to lose.
Right.
So where do you two see over the next year, where do you think the growth and adoption is going to be pushed from the most? Do you think it will be governments or corporations, or do you think it will be a push from the crypto communities more than those entities?
And that's an interesting question, because I think you're getting it from all three right now, right? You see all these congressional hearings in which they got Mark Zuckerberg in a room sweating his butt off, right? So and then you got something like Libra, which it's a very, some of the biggest corporations in the world are buying into the idea, at least some way, right? Maybe it's not the true decentralized version that we all think of, but if you've got things like Facebook and formerly MasterCard and Visa and PayPal all on board, because if they weren't scared of regulatory backlash, but they were on board at some point, right? So they see division. And then you got and then you said you got the Fed, so you're getting it from all different angles here. But I think I think what the hard part is going to be is what is going to take your normal everyday person and get them to the next level, and what are they going to gravitate towards? Are they going to be, I think the biggest thing with adoption right now for the community is usability and ease of use, right? So it takes you mentioned that poor woman that got scammed by a scammer, right? So are they going to trust something like that, or are they going to go to their bank, which they've trusted for 60 years? Or so it's going to be interesting to see where you can get that layperson adoption that is not a quick technical person we don't seem like we are, but we are compared to a lot of the people out there, you know what I mean? So I'm interested to see where those people gravitate towards, and if we can, as a crypto community, can begin to make products that are usable and easy to use. Like we were talking about this on our show the other day, but something like Lolly, right? Where you can gain Bitcoin I did it today. I booked all my work travel for the next month using Lolly, and I just stack some Bitcoin. And so that's easy to use. My mom could use it. My wife could use it. Anybody that I know could use that. But if you talk about setting up a master node, that's a different story, right? So, it's going to be what companies, and will the crypto community be able to adopt these, easy UI type of businesses that will kind of help the community, decentralized community, win, rather than the central banks and governments and huge corporations. What do you think, Chamber?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Ease of use. When I think you mentioned Lolly, when you're using Bitcoin without necessarily knowing you're using Bitcoin or gaining Bitcoin, I think that's the moment of of real mass adoption. There is something that happened over the last few days, if not yesterday, that could be one of those moments of change where, you know, something happens and it creates a wave of change. And I think that wave could come from, and
you must be talking about Pornhub.
I'm 100% talking about Pornhub.
I knew it.
Yes.
I'm 100% talking about Pornhub. PayPal backed out of, believe it or not, I'm not a huge Pornhub guy, so I'm not 100% sure how this works, but it sounds
That's
like.
because Mom's listening.
Yeah, exactly. I think she actually is. She usually listens to a lot of the shows, so she'll definitely watch this one. But from my understanding, anybody that is creating content on Pornhub, their payouts could happen through PayPal, and PayPal has now taken that away. I think it's an opportunity for, you know, maybe a Coinbase or a cryptocurrency, you know, wallet to come in and really fill in that gap, so to speak. Great choice of words for the record. But I think that could be, and it's happened over the course of many different technologies where, you know, as crude as it is, you know, adult entertainment has been the first mover in the market. The most recent one was the difference between, you guys remember, like HD DVDs and Blu-rays, that whole thing. The vast majority of pornography pivoted to Blu-ray, and, you know, we watch Blu-rays. We don't watch HD DVDs anymore. We watch Blu-rays. Internet. I mean, let's talk about the internet for a second. I mean, next level internet was like when you could watch, you know, a sexy encounter.
I'll tell you what, the wisest words that my grandfather ever said was, the world revolves around two things, profit and pussy.
That's facts. That's a wise man right there.
Grandpa was a wise man.
But it's true. It's like the industries that are adopting it, right? You like, again, porn, and then the other two fast adopting industries are gambling and like gaming. Gaming's one of those too. Yeah. So like you see a lot of these gaming companies either accepting crypto or kind of even creating their own coins and currencies, and then obviously gambling. That's how I found out about it.
Right. That's how a lot of people got in too, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that got in that way. But so, you know, those are always typically first movers of technology, mostly because they're typically scrutinized the most.
Right. Because if, I don't know how old you guys are, but like in the first part of the 90s with like email, which were the first ones to use email.
We are.
That is complete bullshit. But it was a funny joke. No, it's, you know, it's the necessity that will drive the adoption.
Yeah.
And I have no idea why PayPal would even do that. You know, why would you slit your own wrist in a market that you're making, you know, revenue from? Because I guarantee it's not moral. You know, like right. the leadership of PayPal didn't just walk out of the church and go, you know what, morality is keeping me from making money from these women that make pornography. I shall remove my company from this environment. Bullshit. Because I guarantee the CEO, when he ain't in like a board meeting, he's watching Pornhub.
I mean, one could argue the board meeting could totally involve just watching Pornhub.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it could be 24/7.
That'd be the best like corporate meeting ever. All right, guys, do research. Let's dig in.
That'd be pretty awkward.
All right, Bob, you take anime.
Oh man, I had anime last time.
I always get anime.
Damn it. Anime again? Can't Chamber get anime?
No, Chamber always gets the Homer homemade, or the Simpsons homemade stuff.
Homegrown Simpsons stuff.
That's right. That's what I got all the time.
I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I actually invented email. I created it.
You
Yeah.
know
A lot of people-
shit.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't know that.
That's amazing. That's
His last name's
amazing.
actually Email. It's Bunchu
Yeah,
Email.
It's
That's where it
Bunchu
came from.
email. So Bunchu's vision. Email Bunchu's vision.
Are you gonna tokenize that?
Yeah. And I'm gonna. Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
fuck it. Somebody will buy that shit coin.
Well,
Yeah,
speaking of shitcoin, did everybody submit their Ethereum wallet address for the Whacked token that's
I
dropping
didn't,
today?
Did
I did.
No, I didn't.
you? we just had him on our show, and he was talking about it. That was an epic
Right.
episode.
This coming from the BitConnect guy.
Hey, wait
How
a
can it
second.
lose?
I'm pretty sure Ben.
Is
Ben,
it
these are
private?
also. This is also a fact. Chambers submitted his wallet address for Initiative Q as well.
Yep. I'll get involved with anything really. Just looking for that. Just looking for the next Bitcoin.
Not all of them have to hit. Just one of
That's
these,
the
right,
one.
Chamber?
Just one in a million, man. That's it.
Not financial advice, people.
Definitely not. It's not good financial advice. Definitely.
Ma!
Mom, you can't retire yet, Mom.
Mom, what's the Pornhub password?
Yeah.
Dang it! Did you change it again?
Stop parental locking me all the time. It's
Mom,
upsetting.
the PayPal's not working.
37 years old, Mom. Come on.
I'm trying to tip this gal. Like,
apparently, I'm an e-boy now. Can we up my my monthly allowance, please?
Chamber.eboy.net.
That's right.
it's this whole, and so many people in crypto take themselves way too damn serious. I've often been accused of not running a very serious show. And I've actually been at conferences where we're like some of the top like crypto minds. I'm like people that you would think would avoid me like the plague. Actually like pull me to the side and go, I love your fucking show.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
And because my show is, because we get into everything like woo woo alien, like which alien breed launched the BitConnect. All this shit together.
We talk a lot of Sasquatch on our show.
Yeah, we
Chamber
definitely
is
talk
from
a
the
little
Great
alien
White North.
stuff, but mostly Sasquatch stuff for sure.
Hey,
And
hey,
Mandela effect stuff. I don't know if you're into that.
it's interesting shit.
All right. Oh, absolutely.
And I don't know. I talk mostly crypto, but every show I have like that squirrel moment.
Of course. Yeah. What was
And
it?
you're off to something else.
Well, I think people have a certain amount of time to dedicate to content, right? Whether you're watching stuff on YouTube, whether you're listening to a podcast, or whether you're watching Netflix, you only have a certain amount of time in a day. I think people gravitate to shows like yourself. Hopefully, eventually, shows like ours they'll gravitate to. But a spot where they're getting multiple things at the same time. You know, they're getting some laughs, they're getting some woo stuff, they're getting some crypto stuff, because they can condense that in the whatever, half hour, 45 minutes, hour that they're dedicating to watching. I think if they can get a bunch of stuff at once, I think that's what they resonate with.
You'd be surprised how many people where the husband and wife are sitting in bed and they're watching my show on their screen in their
very
bedroom.
hot.
They're
Bitcoin Ben's an e-boy.
like they're watching me and you hear like the buzzing sound.
Show us your feet.
Show us your feet. Tippin dot Ben.
Tip, 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 tip.
Oh my God.
That's great.
But I think that we need cryptocurrencies definitely need like people like Omar Bam, and I love his show. His show is very informative, very entertaining to watch. But we also need like that late night guy that has great ratings, but nobody claims to watch him. It's
That's us. Like we're the people that nobody will admit they listen to.
We got a lot. We haven't got the here's our ref link, but don't name us yet. That's when we know we've officially made it.
Exactly. So we've actually been going on for like 45 minutes or so. I'm going to give you guys each a half hour just to, to wrap up real quick. What do you each think is what do you see coming, or what project do you see that you think is really going to make an adoption of cryptocurrencies other than like Lolly or anything like that? What do you guys see out there right now that you're really impressed with?
Chamber, you want to tackle this one?
No.
I do have one.
I have a feeling you're going to say the same.
I feel like I've been inundated with Dudex ref links. That's the only thing that's coming to my head.
No,
no, it's not bad. We had somebody on our show a couple of weeks back. I don't know if you're familiar with it, Divi Project.
I happen to be a advocate for Divi.
There you go.
I thought we were interviewing Nick, and I mean, say what you will about literally anybody in the space. This guy was genuinely one of the nicest guys I've ever spoken to. Just a real good fella. The project itself makes sense. We were talking about how complicated, masternodes are. They've made in his description, they've made a pretty simple way to stake and to create masternodes. I thought what they were doing, just kind of quickly off the top of my head, I thought that was a good one as far as outreach to mass adoption.
I think their message is good. What they're trying to do is good, I think. And then, like you said, you talk about ease of use. I mean, us idiots were able to set up the masternode in one click, right? So, and
I run a 300,000 Divi masternode.
Really?
Because I love the project, and it has a use case. They already have 2 physical locations in Costa Rica. Mm-hmm. I was talking with Nick the other day, and the things that they're rolling out that people don't know about yet are like they'll have an exchange, and they'll actually be able. And I don't know if this is public yet, but fucking it is.
Love you, Divi.
Nick's gonna call me and go,
what the fuck, man?
They'll actually offer an over-the-counter service through their wallet.
Interesting.
Wow, that's cool.
So it's
didn't they just win like 25,000 in grants or something at the World CryptoCon. So, I think I was giving it to you because you did the interview, Chamber, and I knew you were going to go there because that's the one I was going to say if you did.
No, he was just in more recent time. That was the one that sticks out of my head. Just like a good team. I was watching a video there just the other day. They had, I'm going to get the name wrong. I want to say Tim Sanders. Is that the guy? As one of he was a Yahoo guy, but anyways, Nick was interviewing him, and I thought it was just a good dude. I really enjoyed talking with him, and the project seemed like it was doing some good things. And like I said, you get inundated with ref links left, right, and center. I'm like, this most of that hot garbage is no good.
Yeah.
But that's one that you don't see shilled very much.
I got one
Um,
outside the box one.
You got one? What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going big picture. So we had this person on our show as well. Maybe our smartest interview of all time, Mr. Mark Yusko from Morgan Creek Digital. And I think, they're not a cryptocurrency company per se, but what they do is fund all of these cryptocurrency startups, right?
Right.
So
That's a
if we're
good point.
talking about what's going to help gain adoption, it's more of these businesses, right? So if these guys are out there giving opportunities to crypto startups, I think that's a huge thing that, and really, honestly, like that was one of the most enlightening interviews we've ever done, because you can really tell what they believe in as the future. And Mark's somebody who has made his living in technology and investing in technologies for his whole life, and he really sees the vision. And so if they're out there putting their capital into all these other crypto startups, I think that's that's a huge thing too.
Yeah. Plus, it's people like him that will actually set the direction,
Exactly.
because he who has the money
Sure
has,
does.
Exactly.
that's where we're going.
Exactly. And if he sees the vision and they're creating these startups that are going to be able to really make a difference in the space, and not just, and I mean, they do the vetting, right? And they're not investing in companies that are scamming you, right? So anything they're investing in is at least better than the fly by night ICO. Right?
Yeah, they're not investing in BitConnect.
Right, exactly. So I think something like that is really important to have too, and those guys do an awesome job over there.
Awesome. Great job, guys. All right, we're going to wrap this up because I think we've been talking for like an hour now.
We're kind of gabby sometimes.
Yeah, we're chatting.
Yeah. We're like a sewing circle.
That's right.
All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate you guys coming on the show. I had a blast. This was a great interview. And if you guys ever want me on, make sure you put a warning.
I know there's warnings on every show.
Yeah, all of our episodes are marked explicit, so
Yeah.
you don't have to worry.
You're
about
okay.
All right, good. And other than that, where can everyone find you? Do you have an email website?
Absolutely. So you can find us at Rekt_podcast on Twitter, and at rektpodcast.com is our website. We also have a Telegram group where we just hang out and talk shit. So that's t.me/Rekt_podcast as well. And that's about it. Anywhere else, Chamber?
No, those are the good ones.
Our shows-
Yeah.
Yeah, our shows come out. We do 2 shows a week, so we do a Tuesday show typically and a Thursday show. So come check us out and hang out with us as well.
Awesome, guys. All right, I appreciate your time, and everyone watching the show. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys.
We love you too. See ya.
Yeah, thank you.
Pornhub.
Pornhub.